2016 Samsung Galaxy A5 review. Designed exquisite, ambitious design with stylish colors, almost perfect. Last year's Galaxy A5 was impressively thin, but it lacked the sophistication of Samsung's higher-tier handsets. This year, though, things are much different. The Galaxy A5 2016 sacrifices some of the lightness of its predecessor for a more substantial, ambitious feel. The looks and proportions of the new A5 are near perfect. It's very stylish and well put together, not to mention that the black on gold flash rose gold color options look striking and different from what we've been treated to so far. Even though this isn't a top-level phone, it has one of the most exquisite designs you can find in a phone these days. The finely polished glass surfaces are non-slippery in the hand, yet don't get too messy. The metal frame is thoughtfully shaped, so it doesn't create any discomfort for the user, and the physical keys have the perfect amount of click response. While the phone won't slide out of your hand easily, however, it does slide over most other surfaces that are not skin or leather, so you should still be careful with how and where you place it. In an increasingly larger and deeper ocean of generic-looking plastic and metal products, Samsung's Galaxy A5 2016 stands out as familiar, yet distinctive model. It's both aesthetically pleasing and convenient to work with. Display: not the best display around, but definitely in the upper echelon. A sizable 5.2 AMOLED touchscreen graces the front of the Galaxy A5 2016. Even before we powered it up, we already knew what to expect: the default adaptive screen mode with extra punchy colors, our inevitable desire to switch to basic mode in order to make things look more natural, the deep blacks, the volatile viewing angles, and everything else. The A5's display didn't surprise us in any way. It exhibits the exact same characteristics as those of other current Samsung models. Its 1080x1920px resolution is more than enough to produce a fine, pleasantly clear image, but the screen does come off as slightly washed out. Worse is the color balance, which, even on basic screen mode, exhibits an unpleasantly strong green. It's nothing you can't get used to, but we'd like to see Samsung get rid of this problem right away. Leaving that aside, the flexibility of this screen brightness-wise is applaudable. Outdoors, it can get bright enough to let you view it comfortably, while in the dark, brightness can get extremely low, so as not to hurt your eyes. System performance: not for the impatient ones. Sorry if we've ruined the surprise in the previous section, but yeah, this phone is ultimately slow, regardless of its more than adequate Snapdragon 615 chipset. The 1.6 GHz octa-core CPU feels overwhelmed by the TouchWiz software, making for a less than favorable overall performance of the system. The GPU here is the Adreno 405, a passable but not necessarily good processor. Heavy 3D games generally don't run too well, and when they do run, they usually revert to lower quality graphics settings. More ordinary looking titles tend to run fine, though, so most entertainment isn't out of reach for the Galaxy A5 2016. Plus, instead of blasting zombies and driving supercars at unlawfully high speeds, you could play a nice game of chess, for example. See how the A5 subtly takes you down the path of intellectual development. Note: in some markets the Galaxy A5 2016 may be available with the Exynos 7 Octa 7580 Social, where performance should be similar. Memory-wise, the Galaxy A5 comes with 16 GB, but you can employ the services of a microSD card to increase the capacity. Just know that the A5 2016 is typically a dual SIM device, but using the microSD card will render one of the two SIM slots unusable. Camera: very fast and convenient camera experience, but image and video quality is good, not great. The Galaxy A5 2016 features a 13 megapixel rear camera with optical stabilization OIS and wide f/1.9 aperture that allows more light in than your average smartphone. Up front, there's a 5 megapixel selfie shooter. The camera experience is one of the best you can have on a smartphone at the moment. The phone supports quick launch for the camera. Just double-click the home button from any place even when the phone is locked and the camera app starts right away. The camera interface is extremely convenient. It has separate video and photo capture buttons, allows you to pause the video unlike pricier devices like the iPhone. For instance, the button to switch between the front and rear cameras is conveniently within reach. Battery life: the Samsung Galaxy A5 2016 features a 2900 mAh battery that is not user removable. Samsung Galaxy A5 2016 review: but how long does the battery last? We ran the phone through our battery life test and the result is nothing short of stellar. With close to 10 hours of battery life, this is one of the longest lasting phones we've ever tested. Then, we have real-life impressions. The Galaxy A5 2016 easily lasts a full day, even when you put it through its paces, and on average we got around a day and a half of use. Your mileage may vary, but you should get somewhere around this as well. Given that a 2900 mAh battery is rather large, it's important to measure how long it takes to charge a phone back from 0 to 100% with the stock wall charger. Luckily, Samsung provides a fast adaptive charger wall plug which puts out 15 watts of power to juice up the battery faster than usual. It takes 1 hour and 36 minutes to fully recharge the phone, which should be fast enough for most. Conclusion: the Samsung Galaxy A5 2016 is a beautiful, but flawed smartphone. It's hard not to like, or at least appreciate its classy look and quality feel. But the new A5 is exactly like those people who tend to put extraordinary amounts of effort into making sure they look their best, and little to no effort into anything else. In other words, once the initial attraction starts wearing off, there isn't much left in the Galaxy A5 2016 to keep you interested. Sure, it has the better-than-average camera, but boy does TouchWiz ruin the show. Samsung should step up its software game ASAP. The software experience may be something difficult to quantify, unlike CPU cores, resolutions, and megapixels, which Samsung loves to pump up, but users can definitely feel it. The TouchWiz problem is there, and it's very real, so if Samsung doesn't want lesser companies to eat through its share, it'd do well to double down its software efforts. At present, this year's Galaxy A5 costs around $400, which means it has to compete with some rather solid smartphones out there. The sub-$400 Nexus 5X, for example, has none of the A5's style, but immeasurably better performance. And then there's the much cheaper OnePlus X, which doesn't have the brand authority, but actually looks as good as the A5, and also has way better performance and user experience. Choose wisely. The Galaxy A5 2016 isn't the superhero mid-ranger we wanted to see. It has a costume, but lacks powers. Pros: commendable build quality and styling, fine camera experience, more than decent battery life. Cons: TouchWiz is a shameful software experience. System performance isn't up to snuff. Ships with Android 5.1, when it should have been 6.